Greetings, cheese lovers. This is Jill Erber of Cheesetique with your Cheese and Wine Club for March 2026. In honor of the recently concluded Olympics in Milano, Italy, we are featuring cheeses and wine from that picturesque cheese-loving, wine-loving part of northern Italy. These are the regions of Lombardy and Piedmont, but particularly right around the town of Milan, Italy. So we are going to be, the reason I have gloves on, by the way, I think what you'll find is that these cheeses are going to be a little bit more and a little bit more messy than our typical cheeses. So you certainly do not have to have gloves on at home. Don't worry about that. This is just for my own hand preservation here. So our first cheese dates back to the 1500s at least. This is a cheese called Robiola. This one happens to be made with two different kinds of milks. You'll find Robiola that's made with 3 milks. You'll find Robiola that's made with 1 milk. This one is Robiola due latte, which means 2 milks, and it is made with a blend of cow and sheep's milk. It is blended together to sort of harness the strengths of each of those milks, which is the buttery, wonderful mouth texture of the cow's milk and the sweet but sort of earthy flavors of the sheep's milk. And it's a really beautiful combination. This is what we call a soft ripened cheese, so it means the surface of this cheese is covered in an edible mold. We love to eat the rind on this cheese, so it is not optional. You absolutely must eat it. It will add flavor, it will add texture. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous northern Italian cheese, and oh my gosh, an ancient one. Speaking of ancient, we are moving on to Brescianella, which is another super ancient northern Italian cheese. This one has also been made since the 1400s or 1500s. The unique thing about this is that it is what is called a washed rind cheese. So if you're familiar with a cheese called taleggio, which actually comes from the same region, this will be very familiar to you, except obviously the format is much smaller. Washed rind means that the surface of this cheese is actually rinsed in salt water and a very special bacteria that causes it to turn this beautiful peachy color. This is a natural color, and it gives it, dare I say, a full aromatic sensation. Now, this is not an uber stinky cheese. It actually smells more sort of grassy and milky and tangy and less super stinky. The rind on this cheese is 100% edible. Now, I would say it's not optional. You got to eat the rind. Some people find these rinds a little bit strong. What I would encourage you to do is at least try a bite of it. If you don't love it, don't eat a lot of the rind, but the rind really does add kind of an essential flavor and texture experience to this cheese. Both of these cheeses are super, super young. They're only aged for about 3 weeks, which leaves them with a very, very tender interior, almost like a brie style cheese, and a very soft and delicate rind, which is just mwah, so fantastic. Our third cheese is one of the most unique blue cheeses in the entire world. This is a cheese that I lovingly refer to as San Carlo because its full name is daunting. So we're just going to call it San Carlo. This is a cow's milk blue, also from this same area of northern Italy. You are going to die when you taste this cheese. The texture of this cheese is like icing. It is so smooth and silky. What's particularly rare, though, about this cheese is its rind. So it is aged for 3 months in coffee grounds. Yes, that is coffee on the outside of this blue cheese. So it's absolutely edible. It will add really cool texture. It will add just delightful flavor and a neat kind of nuttiness, and obviously a coffee note as well to this cheese. The blue itself is what I would call kind of a moderate intensity blue, but its paste is really the takeaway here. It is just the most silky sort of blue cheese experience combined with the piquant qualities of blue that we love so much. So those are our 3 cheeses. We are pairing those today with some very traditional accompaniments. So the first is a Mostarda, which is a very traditional accompaniment from Lombardy. So this one happens to be apples, and there's all sorts of mustard seed and mustard powder in there. So the best way to think of Mostarda is as a sweet and savory condiment. So think of it sort of like a chutney. So it's sweet, but it's got the mustard, and so it's a little bit savory at the same time, and it is an exceptional cheese condiment. You're going to love it. And last but not least, as far as our accompaniments go, we have the famous Taralli Crackers. Now, this is a bit of a cheat because Taralli Crackers, although from Italy, are actually from the south of Italy. They're from, if you think of Italy as a boot with a high heel, the high heel part is a region called Puglia. And Taralli crackers come from Puglia, so, you know, way opposite end of the country. But I just love them. I love the look of them. What's cool about Taralli crackers is not just the appearance, but they're actually made with white wine and olive oil. So it gives it this wonderful crunch and this neat kind of buttery, savory quality, which is second to none. And again, the shape, please, like little inner tubes. They're so cute. We're moving on to our wine now, for those of you lucky enough to be wine members as well. And remember, you can always get this wine too. If you come in and you want an additional bottle, we always have them in the shop and you can pick one up at that time. So if you're feeling a little bit of wine envy right now, we got you. This is the Mazzolino Bonarda. So Bonarda is an ancient Piedmontese grape from the far north of Italy. It is famous for both its rich, full fruit flavors, but also its earthiness and almost like a delicate floral quality, often referred to as kind of a violet influence. So this is going to have a perfect medium body. It's got perfect tannin integration. So yes, you have some texture and some grip, but this wine is not going to overpower any of these cheeses. You're going to get nice, beautiful, round fruit flavor, which will just meld beautifully with all three of these cheeses. You cannot go wrong with Bonarda, and you are really having a piece of history here because this grape has been harvested in Italy since, I think it's over 2,000 years at this point, and running. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity to drink this wine. And I love this board so much, not because it honors the incredible Olympic athletes in that gorgeous region of northern Italy, but because these are some of the most ancient and native styles of cheeses and wine that Italy has to offer. And I'm honored to have them all on one board for you today. So I hope you enjoy, and we will see you next month.